So what we're going to do is I'm just going to walk through the walk-around process, and I'm going to be following the process that we have in our little brochure, our little 6-pack. So one of the first things that I've noticed when I do walk-arounds and observe them and coach them, and as I've done them in the past, is that a lot of times we go up to the vehicle and we stand and we talk in the vehicle, we talk in the car at someone. And that's really not very comfortable for the customer if you think about it. Someone's standing outside the car and now I'm talking to him, and at some point in time, it's going to go like this, step out of the vehicle.
Like yesterday.
Yes. And you know, that's not language as opposed to, so see how this feels for you. Good morning, sir. Let me get this door for you.
Oh, thank you.
See the difference in that? Let me get that door for you. Whether it's a gentleman or a lady, get the door for you, they automatically step out of the vehicle. Now, what I like about that is we're here as two human beings making connection as opposed to me talking through the car. You know, they didn't roll in here to order French fries. So that's certain. It's kind of like we're rolling up to the drive-through window. We're not a drive-through. We're in the relationship business. We make connection with the customer. So let me get that door for you, sir. They step out. Now, if they've turned the vehicle off, I'm going to step into the cabin of the vehicle. Now, that's after I've said, good morning, my name is Michael. I'm going to be your service consultant this morning, sir, and your name is?
Frank Graham.
Frank, welcome to the dealership. Is this your first visit to our dealership?
Yeah, it is.
Frank, that's great. Thank you so much. We appreciate you choosing courtesy this morning and coming in and seeing us. Thanks for dropping by. Okay? Make a little connection, have a little small talk. I'm going to step in your vehicle here real quick, Frank, and I'm going to turn it on and just get the tires going. We're going to get the process started for you.
Okay.
Get your service visit started. So I would start the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to turn the tires. All right? Now, once I've done that, while I'm in the car, I'm going to look around real quick. It just takes a second. What am I looking for? We talk about damage outside the vehicle. What about the inside of the vehicle? So I'm looking at seats to make sure there are no tears, door panels to make sure there are no tears. I'm not going to do an intensive inspection, just a quick visual, any kind of cracks anywhere. I might look at the windshield from the inside, okay? I'm looking at carpet. I'm doing all that just looking like this, and I'm going to also check for personal items. Frank, you've got a case back here and a jacket. Would you like to get that out this morning?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, great. Let's make sure we get that out for you before we pull the vehicle back to the shop.
Great.
Okay? Now, time out right there. What kind of relationship do I have going with Frank already? It's like
Partnership.
we're like 10, 15 seconds into this thing, and we've already established connection and partnership. And if I've started the vehicle and I turn that wheel, the show is about to start. So there's some kind of a real thing going on with, wow, what are we about to do? Okay? Now, before I get out of the cabin of the car, I'm going to get my mileage, because I'm sitting right here. Okay? Might want to check that oil life monitor, so I can have a conversation with Frank about that. But I'm also going to check it. I'm just going to cock my head up here and take a look at this little this little oil change sticker. Now, this sticker says that Frank has got his last change at Novato Chevrolet. So I noticed, Frank, that you stopped in at one of our Chevy competitors here. Have you been getting your service done with them for a while?
I just had it done once.
Oh, great. Are we closer to your home?
Yeah.
Great. Well, we'd love to invite you to come by and see us on a regular basis. Now, what if it was Jiffy Lube? Frank, I see that you're getting your vehicle oil change at Jiffy Lube. You know they do a great job at what they do. I'd like to share with you what we do here, because we do a little bit more to your car, and our service. So you see, we got a conversation going about that. So, little tip here, in terms of where they're getting the car serviced. So I've turned the wheels, I've got my mileage, I did my quick check. I'm out of the vehicle now. So I'm set up. Now what I'm set up for, I've got that vehicle turned, the wheel turned, I step to the front of the vehicle right here. First thing I see, VIN number. It's right in front of me. I'm going to write that down. I'm sitting by this driver's side wiper blade. I pop it up, I give her a real quick feel. Not a big fan of doing the water and all that stuff, especially on a drive where you might squirt people. Okay, now and streak the windshield. Positives and negatives to everything we do, but I really want to see what this rubber is like, and I want to make sure that there's no loose rubber. So I'm just going to run my hand real quick. I do advise you that you probably want to have a rag in your pocket so that you can wipe your hand off, and you've got that when you check the fluids under the hood. Okay. One thing we didn't do here, I want to make sure I go ahead and pop the hood. Let's get that popped. Now I'm set up. Okay. Everything's done. Step out. Check that. Now I'm right here at the front of the vehicle. I'm going to pull out my power tool here, my flashlight, and one of the first places I'm going to look with this wheel, if I can see in there, which some of the cars it's pretty tight, but I'm just going to check for strut or suspension things here. because I can see those struts, I can see suspension items, and I see the full profile of the tire. So I've got wear patterns, right? I can see the inside and outside of the tire. And if I see any of that, I can bring it to the customer's attention. Anything I put this spotlight on is something that I want to draw the customer's attention to, all right? Plus, I can even use this to kind of check a little bit, just look at the brake area. So there's several things I can do with that wheel exposed, and when I get to the other side, when we go around the vehicle counterclockwise, I've got the same opportunity on the other side. Does that make sense? Okay, so I've got that there, I'm checking it, I've looked at everything here, I've talked to the customer about anything that we see. Now I'm ready to start moving around the car. And as I move around, I'm looking for dents and dings. I'm not really saying that in advance, that's not my reason to do the walk around. I'm going to check damage, okay? We're just going to take a quick walk around the car. My invitation on that usually goes something like this. To get you started this morning, I just want to check a few key things because I want you to be safe and comfortable and get the full value from your Chevrolet. And, you know, I'll have that conversation with every customer every time. They never get tired of hearing it. You know, we say it every day, all day long. They only hear it, what, twice, 3 times a year? So I want to repeat that message. I want you to be what? Safe, comfortable, get the full value from your vehicle. So I'm going to walk on around the vehicle. Now, a little idea about the checking for body damage, because what we do so often is we're just checking head on. You know, I see this, I see this, I see this. You're going to miss body damage. So what I like to do is I will check it head on. But when I get back here to the back of the vehicle, okay, I'm going to do a long look. And that gives me that sunlight, especially on a car that's got a little dirt on it, a little dirty. I'm going to do a long look and I'm going to check for body damage because that light will reflect off and I might see that door ding, okay? Now, as we're going around the vehicle, every wheel, we're going to check them all. Now, the tool I like is this General Motors tool that's the little hang card. You can use a tire depth gauge like this that's color-coded, red, green, yellow. But I like this one because it's easy, the customer sees it, it's real, you know, it's just an easy process. So I can check that depth. And I can see the customer. See, that's in the green there. So you've got lots of wear on your tires. I'm going to go ahead and check the one on the inside. So I'm checking inside, outside, and I'm looking for wear across the tire. So I'm going to do that on every wheel. A little more difficult on the rear wheels as we step back here because we don't have as much room, particularly on cars. Many of our cars were really tight here. So, but I'm still going to do my best to check that. And to the degree I'm going to show the customer you're in the green, and green means good. So you got plenty of tire mileage on the tires. Now, should we be in the yellow? That's the time for me to have a conversation. You're in the yellow. We don't need to do anything today, but I just want to give you a heads up. Then, and I like to do it like this. Maybe in the next 3 oil changes, you're going to need a tire, okay? But I'm going to check this for you every time you come in. So you don't have to worry about that. I'll stay abreast of that for you, and I'll keep you informed. Does that make sense? Okay, so that yellow, I get to show it, they see it. Now, if it's in the red, we need to have a conversation today. And that's what I like about the red, yellow, green, is that red, we need to take some action. That's a safety issue, okay? That's very different than me putting my finger in here or looking at a tire tread bar, a tread bar. You can talk to the customer about the tread bars, that's fine, it's a good conversation. They can watch that visually when they get gas, but the reality is that I'm going to be taking care of you, so I'm going to be checking that every time. Again, back here, I'm pulling out my power tool. I've checked for some body damage, and I'm going to see if I see anything here. Not likely to see it, but I can see the spare tire on this vehicle, so I'd take a little quick check at that. I'm not going to get underneath. I might tell the customer, when we get it back in the shop, when we get your vehicle back there, the guys are going to get it up on the hoist. They're going to do a full inspection, multi-point inspection, and when we get those results back, you and I'll sit down and we'll go through that because we want you to be what? Safe, comfortable, get the full value from your vehicle, okay? So I do my check there. I might even check and see if I see any kind of issues around the brakes here. And again, I'm just looking for wear on the damage on the car. I take my long view. I don't see anything on this. Come back to the bumper. Bumper is an area where we get lots of little dings and dents and scratches and parking lot kisses. By the way, that's a term I use. You know, where'd you get the little parking lot kiss? Did you get a little parking lot kiss? Because it's a fun, kind of a casual way of drawing their attention to any damage that you see. Now notice that this vehicle has a back wiper blade, so I want to the degree I can, just reach in here and give that a little feel as well and make sure that we're okay there. Move around the vehicle, everything looks good here. Oops, I see right away because I just took a long view I see a little body damage here on this right rear door, right on this edge. Pretty good little pucker. So I'd ask the customer, what happened here? You know, and get them to tell you the story. Because, and notice that I'm touching it, right? I'm touching it while I'm talking about it. If I'm touching it, it's real. If they touch it, it's real. So to the degree that that happens, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm touching it, we talk about it, then I'm going to check my tire depth here. Same process, I'm going to talk about the tires inside and outside to the degree I can get my hands in here, check the brakes, check anything here. Every wheel. It only takes a strut that's got a leak and I put my light on it. What would that do in terms of an additional service request? That's a big deal. And I've taken better care of the customer. That's always where I'm coming from. I want to take full care of my customers, which means I'm going to make more money. Okay? That just goes hand in hand. But the first thing is take care of the customer. So as I move on down the vehicle, I'm kind of looking for damage. And you want to check things like side rails as well, step rails. I just took a long view. I've got a little bit of a reflection here. So that looks like a parking lot kiss. So I have a little conversation about that. You know, I might even look in the window while I'm here. So again, I've just got my radar on and my antenna up. So I'm looking at everything. I come back, now here's my right front tire. I've got the chance to check again my tread here. I check the inside or the outside. I check the inside. I look for the wear across the tire. And I've got this nice view here of everything going on in this wheel well. So I'm checking the wheel well. Don't see anything going on here. Everything looks good.
We have a leak.
Well, there's a little, that's just water from the air conditioner. Now, as I'm checking things and I'm talking with the customer, I want to describe what I'm doing, right? So we're just checking this, and that's different than let's walk the vehicle and look for dents and dinks, right? That's a pretty short conversation. I'm back here. I can check this other wiper blade. I'll pick it up. I'm going to do a full inspection, run my finger, check the rubber, make sure we don't have anything that's cracked or loose.
Michael, this may run out of battery right now. So.
We're checking the window, all right? Looking for chips there. Back around the front of the vehicle, I look for rock damage here. Again, if I find some damage, I might want to offer an estimate. Now, we're going to raise the hood. What am I looking for under the hood? Three things. I'm looking for belts, hoses, leaks. That's it. Belts, hoses, leaks. Add the battery if you want to, and I'm only looking for corrosion on the battery or battery cable. That's a beautiful thing to do. If you check any fluids, that's fine. Just remember, if it's transmission fluid, does the vehicle usually have to be on or off? It's got to be on. So we want to make sure we do that. I'll turn the vehicle off. I'm not going to do that right now, but we turn the vehicle off. That way I can see the belt or belts, and we can talk about that. If it looks good, I want to say your belt looks good. I don't see anything dripping around here. No leaks. The hoses look good. If I see a hose that's got a little pucker on it, I want to give it a little squeeze maybe. Be careful, it could be warm. But I just want to kind of see the hoses. Anything I see, anything I put my light on, that's work that we're going to do today. Because anything under this hood is a showstopper. That's something where a family or a person stranded on the side of the road and they're going to have to be towed in. And so again, I want to tell them that because I want you to be safe, comfortable, and get the full value from your vehicle. And once I've done that, I kind of take a quick look at the headlights. I've done the same thing on the back. We're done with our walk around. Now that's a pretty detailed walk around. I just talked you through it. Average time on that walk around is less than 4 minutes. Even have an interaction with the customer, less than 4 minutes. So that's